Painting me looks like dangerous. Previous episodes are available on playlist, a link is given in the video description. Episode 2. I can even make a cute smiley face. I look at him again and feel good inside. What is going on with me? I shake my head and walk out of his room. Why do bad times last longer than good ones? I walk home, doing my best not to think about tomorrow. There were only cuts today. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? Kira is lying on her couch when I get home. She is sleeping. I go to her room and get her a blanket, then I cover her with it. Then, just as I'm about to go to my room, I see Kira's cheeks. There are some tears that have dried. I let out a sigh. Isn't it true that everyone is fighting their own battle? When I wake up the next morning, I have a small headache. I get ready and put on a black jeans. I don't care anymore, so I don't wear makeup and let my hair down. I don't even eat breakfast because I know that after my session with Zeke, I'm most likely to throw up everything. I have to try not to miss class today, though. I wait for Austin at the library for a while, but he never shows up. I end up doing all the editing for the assignment myself. He might not have seen the note I left. I send Austin a text asking where he is, but he doesn't answer. I'm worried because that's not like him. I hate that this person has this effect on me. Someone I haven't known for long. I walk to class like I always do, and Zeke is there waiting for me. As I open the door, my heart beats in an irregular way, as it always does. Zeke's eyes move to me, and they light up right away. He looks at me in a different way. His blank face turns into an evil grin that makes my blood run cold. Lyra, come in. I take a shaky breath and walk into the class, shutting the door behind me. Zeke leaves an hour later, completely happy with me. He touched me there. I finally leave the room in tears after a long time. I would usually put things together before leaving that classroom, but I can't do that now. I leave the class and go outside. When I see the figure leaning against the door, I can't breathe. Angry brown eyes stare at me. Austin stands up straight, and his anger grows with each passing second. He has his hands and fists at his sides and his jaw is hurting. He looks at my face. My blood turns cold. Austin knows. Finally, phew. Austin knows. Austin knows. Did Zeke see you? I manage to say, even though I'm scared to death. He doesn't answer, which makes my heart race even faster. I start to shake. His eyes are still full of rage. Did Zeke meet Austin? He will send the video to the whole school if he does. What if he already has? My vision is blurry and my whole body feels numb. No, his voice is harsh and sounds forced. No. My voice is breathy. Not at all. I can finally take a deep breath. My heart rate slows down a little, but another thought comes to mind. Austin might not have seen Zeke, but Zeke did see me. Austin saw Zeke do things to me. I take some steps back without meaning to. I have to leave. This is making me feel trapped. Then I turn around and walk quickly to my first class instead of the toilet for once. I don't like having to deal with problems. Especially these kinds. As I walk away, I can feel his piercing eyes on me. Austin is in all of my first 3 classes, which is too bad. It doesn't help at all to feel his eyes on me. I can't focus all the time. But I'm glad I can stay away from him. I sit in the front of all my classes and leave early, which makes it hard for him to talk to me. It takes a long time for lunch to get here. I look for Sky again to avoid him. We walk to the cafeteria with her arm around mine. But a very familiar muscular chest in a black shirt is blocking our way. I need to talk to you, Lyra, Austin says in a way that makes me shiver. I can feel Sky getting stiff too. I don't. I didn't ask. Okay, but she is coming with me, I say. Sky tries to pull her hand away, but I won't let her. She won't leave me alone. Not again. It's about the assignment, we don't want to bore your friend over there, he says through gritted teeth. I see that his jaw is tight. A lot of people are looking at us, which makes me even more nervous. Go ahead and talk, Lyra, Sky says in a high-pitched voice and walks away, leaving me behind. Again. Not aware. Austin grabs my wrist and pulls me out of the school. The people around us move out of the way like in the movies. We go outside and walk towards the old buildings. I don't stop him because I know I can't. He is determined to find out. He stops right where I got lost on my first day. Where I got stuck in a situation that was kind of like this. I am full of anxiety. I haven't even been in trouble for a week, and I've already gotten into more trouble than I could have imagined. There is no one here. The old building makes me feel uneasy, and the air is completely still. I feel sick to my stomach. I'm happy I didn't eat anything. Austin is next to me. I don't look at his face because I'm afraid to look into his eyes. He saw Zeke doing things to me. He saw that I was crying. He saw me fall apart. A thought comes to mind. He didn't come in today. He didn't save me this time. I can help you, Lyra, Austin says, and his voice has a tone I can't place. I don't know what it is, but it sounds strangely honest. He breathes heavily and hits the wall behind him. It's strange that I'm not crying. No, not even one tear. Austin looks at me softly, the kind of look that could melt me from the inside, but right now it doesn't bother me. He used to make me feel better, but now I feel cold inside. Why didn't he help me? Why didn't you save me? I ask, my voice breaking. When he puts his hand on my arm, I shake it off. I understand that it wasn't his duty to save me. He can do whatever he wants. But he was there from the start. Was that just a performance? Because I thought the bastard was blackmailing you. I mean, it took all my strength not to strangle him to death, Lyra. I don't know what he has against you. Oh. I step back a bit. I have to go to class. Austin is messing with my head, and no one can help me get out of this mess. And I can't afford to miss class. I was never the type of student who missed class. I don't look at him and then turn around. I walk towards my class. Sky must be looking for me. My arm suddenly turns me around. I look him in the eyes. Why do you care, Austin? Just tell me. Why? Why? I don't know. I just do, okay? Seeing you like this is killing me, he yells. His voice makes me flinch, which is the opposite of what he said. When I flinch, his eyes get softer. He says something quietly and then closes his eyes. Please, he begs. I look at his face, not sure what to do. His hair is messed up and ruffled, which is different from other times. His face is very striking, but his eyes look tired and he has a frown on his face. I wonder if I am the cause of his behavior. Most likely not. It's a video, I say in a soft voice. He gets closer, and I can see that he is getting more worried. On the night of the party, I say, looking away. He wraps his arms around my shaking body and holds me. He holds me close to his chest and gently runs his hand up and down my back. In the video. I'm naked, Austin, I say, and a sob comes out. Even I can tell that my voice sounds broken. Austin gets stiff. He keeps running his hand up and down my back. But I only feel coldness spreading through me. I am naked in the video, I say again and again against his chest, my silent tears soaking his shirt. He pulls me in deeper. I wish I could stay like this for the rest of my life. When he talks, I cringe at his tone. It sounds scarier than anything else. It is a whisper, a dark promise, and a chilling whisper. I'm going to kill him. I've never been so excited to see someone die. I look out the window and try to feel better by looking at the pretty flowers in the garden, which are orange, yellow, pink, and all the other colors. They have butterflies around them that admire how beautiful they are. But the flowers will die and fade away. And the butterflies will find other flowers to enjoy, ones that are young and pretty. Then butterflies will also die. I hear PST, my eyes go straight to the front. Mr. Richard is busy talking about some dumb theory about how life evolved that makes no sense at all. Again, I hear PST. I turn to my left. Hey, a man whispers. I didn't even notice that he was sitting next to me. The class is almost over. This guy has a grin on his face that makes him look like a boy. He looks good with green eyes and brown hair that falls on his forehead. Why does every guy at this school look good? He says, I am Eric. I say, Lyra. I look away from the outside again. My eyes fell on the yellow flower that has little white spots on it. It looks great. But it will die at some point. Everything does. Death. I'm going crazy. Eric whispers again, what's wrong? I know he's trying to be nice, but it's a little annoying. Nothing, I say with a tight-lipped smile. When the bell rings, I let out a sigh of relief because class is finally over. I smile at Eric one last time and then run outside. I think back to what happened at lunch. I'm scared of what Austin will think of me, so I wish I hadn't told him anything. I know I shouldn't care what other people think of me, but I do. I can't do anything about it. Or maybe I could control it, I just haven't tried very hard. My phone vibrates in my pocket just as I'm about to go to the next class. I take it out. A message from Austin makes my heart race. Come to your locker to meet me. I put the phone back in my pocket and look around the classroom one last time. I turn around and walk to my locker with a sigh. Austin is standing next to my locker with one hand on his pocket and a serious look on his face that sends chills down my spine. I might think it's hot if I weren't so nervous. I'm going nuts. Hey, I say softly. He looks into my eyes and tries to find something in my face. After a while, he finds my hand. He takes my hand and leads me to the classroom I know very well. The same classroom where Zeke and I met every morning. His hands are warm, but mine are cold and sweaty. He doesn't seem to care because he holds them firmly but gently. The kind of hold that makes your stomach hurt and your heart race. Austin unlocks the door. He looks at me once before opening the door wide enough for me to go in. I freeze when I see what's in front of me. Austin shoves me inside and shuts the door next to me. I think my mouth is open and my eyes are wide. Do you like it? I hear Austin say from behind me. I shut my mouth. Zeke is in front of me. He is tied to a chair. His face is dirty and the skin around his eyes is black. His lips are cut, and blood is running down his face. The front of his shirt is ripped. I see a man standing behind Zeke. I think I've seen him before. He is even bigger than Austin. I turn back to Austin to ask him to explain something. He smiles at me. Do you like it? He asks again. Does the other guy know? He doesn't know anything. I look at Zeke again. Zeke looks back at me, and his sad eyes scream defeat. You want to hurt him more, Bunny? Maybe a punch or two. Or 10. Or 13. Austin smiles wide, showing his teeth. I turn around and look at Zeke. He looks like he's going to die and he's covered in blood. No, Austin, I say with a shaky smile. What now? I finally find my voice. Don't worry, baby. We'll take care of him. No one will know. He'll probably go to jail. That video. I whisper. Austin points to the ground. I stare in shock at the phone that is completely broken. Austin smiles at me, and even though it's not often that I see him smile, he really does look happy. Are there C copies? No, Andrew, they tortured him, he didn't make one. Who doesn't make a copy? I'm so glad that he's dumb. I sigh in relief. Austin points to something and the other guy nods. He takes my hand and we go outside with that. When we get outside, I look at Austin. I feel like a free bird and my happy tears make it hard to see. I say thank you with lips that are shaking. Austin smiles again and wipes a tear from my cheek. I admire him. I really don't know what I would do without him. When I wrap my arms around his waist and hug him, he is surprised. I feel great. I'm about to leave when he wraps his arms around me and pulls me to him. When he kisses my hair, it makes my stomach feel like it has butterflies in it. We stayed like that, not caring that people were watching us. Lyra. I hear a voice that surprises me and makes us jump apart. My cheeks get hot. Eric looks at me and says, we keep running into each other, don't we? I give him a little smile. I can feel Austin behind me, and I don't like how close he is. I can almost feel him on me. Austin says in a cold voice, who is this? I see Eric swallow. Hi. I'm Eric, Eric says in a scared voice. Poor guy. I move away from Austin. Are you her boyfriend or something? Eric pushes, still sounding scared. My cheeks get hot and my eyes get big. No. Austin is just a friend, I say quickly, looking at Austin nervously. His eyes are hard, and he looks like he wants to kill you. He looks at the two of us, then glares at Eric and walks away. I smile at Eric and then follow Austin, who is angry. What's wrong with him? Austin stares at the grass, his face full of rage. What makes him so mad? I mean, he looked fine a few minutes ago. We've been in the shade for a while now. He sat down outside and held my hand, bringing me down with him. There is an awkward silence around us. I can also feel his anger. We were sitting very close together, with our thighs touching. He didn't seem as affected as I was, maybe because he was so angry with Eric. Or maybe he just doesn't think of me that way. So, what did the guy even do to him? I break the awkward silence by asking, do you know him? He grunts, no. Did he do something wrong? I ask again. He pinches the bridge of his nose and lets out a sigh. No, Bunny, he says through gritted teeth. Then what is wrong with him? I think about going back to school. I have some free time, so I might go to the library. I see Austin's fists as I get ready to stand up. I gasp. They look like they have blood on them. They're literally covered in dried blood. I see him looking at me, so I look up. This makes me think of the first day I was here. It's strange that the same thing happened twice in a week. He had a fist. We are sitting next to each other in the same spot. I let out a sigh. You should clean your fist, I say. I notice that his lips are moving a little. He shakes his head. No, I knew it. I sigh again and stand up, holding out my hand for him to grab. He raises his eyebrows at me but still takes my hand and stands up. As we walk inside, his big hands feel warm in mine. Who would have thought that his hands could make me feel this way? My heart was about to burst out of my chest. What do you think his lips could do? Lyra, you are bad. I shake my head to get rid of the thought, and my cheeks get a little hot. We get to the hospital. Austin gives me a look that says, really? I roll my eyes and take him inside. But to my surprise, the infirmary is empty. Where is the nurse? I ask. Austin shrugs. I look for alcohol and bandages. I think I'm going to be a nurse. I laugh at the idea in my head. When I smile at him, he stops frowning and his face softens. I put the cotton in the alcohol and then dip it. I say, this might hurt a little, okay, and bite my lips a little. He looks at my lips and then into my eyes. The air suddenly gets hot and thick, making it hard to breathe. I start to clean the blood off his fist, even though my heart is racing. He surprises me by not even flinching or making a sound. I look up because I know he is looking at me. His eyes go back to my lips, and I remember that I'm biting them again. I swear my heart skips a beat when he pulls my bottom lip away from my teeth with his other hand. His eyes get darker. I clean his hand again and wrap it up in a bandage, all the while feeling his strong gaze on me. I hum quietly because I'm happy with what I've done. When I throw away the cotton and put the things back, my hands shake a little. I break the silence by saying, "All done." My voice sounds a little breathy. He follows me when I go outside. When his bandaged hand grabs my wrist and turns me around, I am shocked. He takes a step towards me, and without thinking, I take a few steps back until my back hits the wall. He smiles a little when he puts his hand next to my head and traps me. His eyes go back to my lips. I also look at his full, pink lips and think about how it would feel to kiss them. When he looks at me, my cheeks get a little warm. When he looks at me, I feel like I'm the most fragile thing in the world. One of his bandaged hands holds my cheek, and I'm surprised that someone like him can be so gentle. He takes his hand away from my head and wraps it around my waist, lifting me a little. When his tongue slips out and runs over his lips, I can feel his breath on my lips and my stomach tightens. I do the same thing he does, and his eyes get even bigger. Was this going on? Please God, don't let this be a dream. Then he bows his head. When his lips touch mine, I hold my breath. We stay like that for a while, and then he sucks on my bottom lip, which makes me moan in a breathy way. I put my hands around his neck and try to do the same, sucking on his upper lip. He moans, and I pull back. I mumble, "Did I do it wrong?" I didn't know what I did wrong because it was my first kiss. Why did he make that noise? "First kiss?" he asks, surprised. I look at my hands, and my cheeks get even hotter. He laughs a little before kissing me again. This time, he kisses my lips with hunger, and I moan into his lips. When his tongue touches mine, I jump a little. When I pull on his hair, he groans into my mouth again. We pull apart after a long time and breathe heavily. His lips look swollen, and I'm so happy that I did it to him. When I look into his eyes, he looks at me with an emotion that makes my stomach clench again and gives me butterflies. When the bell rings, I take my hand off of his neck. He also takes his hand off my waist. When he pulls his hand away, I feel empty. We don't say a word. And since I'm the biggest coward in the whole world, I don't say anything and run to my next class, English Literature. I only realize I share the class with Austin when I get there. And since we were partners, we should sit next to each other. Things couldn't be more strange. It took a whole week. 7 days of that dull pain in my heart. 7 days of that dumb hope that he would at least talk to me. 7 days of me ignoring him at school, but I noticed every little thing he did. 7 days of not paying attention to his stare. For 7 days, I had to stop myself from crying over something so stupid. 7 days of keeping myself from wanting to push him against the wall and kiss him like he had. He hadn't tried to start a conversation, and I hadn't either. I know that over time I had grown to care about Austin. I just didn't know how strong the feelings were. I wish it wasn't that deep. I don't like how unsure I feel. I get out of bed with a sigh after another night of no sleep. I hadn't slept much, and my eyes were hurting a little. Thank goodness it's the weekend today. I get ready and look out the window. It looks like it's going to rain today because the sky is cloudy. I see the calendar and my heart starts to race. September 25th. I could feel my throat closing up, and tears came to my eyes. How could I forget what day it is? The memory comes back to me so quickly that I can hardly breathe. I see bits and pieces of memories from the day flash in front of my eyes, and I shake a lot. After a while, I focus on my breathing. Breathing in and out has never been this hard before. When my knees give out, I sit on the floor. My breathing goes back to normal after about an hour, but I can't stop crying. I think I'll go outside to get my mind off of it. I put on a thin hoodie and black jeans before going outside my room. "Morning, Lyra," Kira says from the couch, where she is holding a hot cup of coffee. She looks so calm and cozy in the blanket. For a moment, I think about joining her, but my heavy heart won't let me. "Good morning." "Coffee?" she asks, holding out her cup. I shake my head no and leave quickly. I can hear her mumbling something, but I don't want to hear it. As I walk down the path that leads into the park, I breathe heavily. I let the bad memories come back to me. I don't care when the tears start again. I enjoy the pain for a while, but then I'm not alone anymore. The sky cries with me. The rain starts with a few small drops here and there. I look up at the sky, where tears are still streaming down my face, and then it starts to rain hard. To be honest, I've never liked the rain, but right now it feels so good. I don't know how long I stay there until I hear some footsteps. My tears mix with the rainwater. I stop breathing when I turn around. Austin looks at me with confusion as he looks into my eyes and sees how messy I am. Not in my eyes, but into them. Like he's trying to figure it out. Find out what's wrong. How did he get to me here? Austin was completely soaked, but he still looked at me like he knew what was going on in my head. He sighs after a while and takes my cold hand in his. He pulls me out of the park, but this time I don't let him. I pull my hand away. I hope the heavy rain doesn't show that I'm still crying. I just stand there with my eyes closed. Austin takes my hand again, and this time he holds it tightly. I try to grab my hand again, but he makes it tighter. To the point of pain. When he sighs and loosens his grip a little, I wince and try to shake his hand away. He mumbles an apology in a voice so small that I can barely hear it. I accept him. His hair is black and completely wet, and it's sticking to his forehead. His shirt is also completely wet, and it sticks to his skin, which makes his body look even better. I don't like that he makes me feel this way. I know. I realize that I don't have the same effect on him. This time, I let him take my hand when he does. I let him pull me to his car. I let him open the door and let me in. He doesn't mind that I'm getting the leather seats in his car wet. He turns the heater up. I look out of the car. The rain hasn't stopped yet. We don't have to drive very far to get to his house. I have a lot of questions, but the sadness inside me is too strong for them. I quickly wipe away some hot tears when we get out of his car. Austin takes me to his room and puts me on his bed. My clothes are still wet. He goes into his bathroom and comes back with 2 towels. He picks one up and pats my hair with it. Something that makes my heart race. He gives me the other one after a few minutes and then goes into his closet. He gives me a white shirt that he brought with him. He tells me to go to the toilet, and I do. I take off my jeans and hoodie and put on the shirt, but my hands are shaking. I look at myself in the mirror. The shirt goes up to the middle of my thigh. I don't take off my pants. I walk outside with my wet clothes in my hands and see Austin sitting on the bed. He has already changed out of his wet clothes, and his wet hair makes him look so. No. I shouldn't think that way. I see him looking at my form, and he looks happy. He looks at me and tells me to come over. When he hugs me, I'm surprised. I sigh into his chest because it feels so good. Isn't he sick of being the knight in shining armor? He says, I want to show you something. I can see the pain in those pretty eyes. I know how to help you let it out. Follow me, he says as he walks outside. I follow him with a heavy heart that is also a little bit excited. Do my eyes look nice? All eyes are nice. Does he think mine is pretty? He might think that all eyes are pretty. I just walk behind him, shaking off the thoughts. I think the word pretty is very delicate and a nice way to say something nice about someone. Austin is standing in front of the door to a room he doesn't know. He looks at me and sighs after a moment of hesitation. Austin looks at me one last time before opening the door wide and telling me to come in. When I walk in, my hands fly to cover my mouth. My eyes sparkle as I look around the room because there is so much to see. As I look at the walls, trying to take everything in, I forget about my sadness for a moment. The room is of average size. There are framed canvases of all sizes hanging all over the place, almost completely covering the off-white wallpaper. The feelings in the paintings take my breath away. They say more than words ever could. I see now that all of the paintings are painted in shades of gray, even though they are all very pretty. It's amazing how all the paintings are painted in different shades of the same color and are still so interesting. I walk up to the wall and look at a painting of a girl. The girl is smiling and looks happy, but the painting makes me want to cry. I go to the next one. The painting shows a man whose features are similar to the girl's, but his expression is different. He looks sad. There is a trail of tears on his cheek. Some paintings are just plain sad. I see Austin looking at me with a curious look on his face. I say, "They're beautiful." He smiles proudly, and I do too. "Why only shades of gray, Austin?" I ask. Austin looks at a painting. "All you see when you see darkness is gray." His words make me shiver. Then I remember something. This helped me forget my sadness. No, his sadness made me forget mine. It's strange. Can I? Do you want to tell me what happened, Bunny? I take a deep breath. He tells me to keep going, and his eyes are so soft that I feel like I'm going to melt. I was 3. I had this dance competition thing at school, I say, taking a breath. My parents were on their way. Then he puts his arms around my waist and pulls me a little closer to him. I look into his brown eyes and feel better. The best shade of brown. On this same date, they got into a car accident, I say. He pulls me close and I quietly put my head on his chest. His heartbeat makes me feel better, and I can feel mine beating in time with his. He whispers, "I understand, Bunny," and then kisses my hair. A thing that makes me feel warm inside. No, he doesn't get it. Not even one person can, unless he's been through the same thing. I dare to ask, "What happened to you? What made you like this?" as I pull away from him a little. He clenches his jaw, and I immediately regret asking because I can see the pain in his eyes. It only lasted a moment, but it was clear. Oh no, he used my name. That's a story for another day, Lyra. That's not good. But that's not fair. He takes deep breaths, probably to fight his memories, and I feel terrible that I am the cause of all this. I hug him to try to calm him down, just like he always does. He puts his face in my neck and breathes deeply. My heart skips a beat. We stay like that for a long time before the air gets charged. A hug that used to make you feel better suddenly becomes something else. His eyes drop to my lips. When he leans in and closes the distance, I part my lips and close my eyes. I had wanted this to happen so badly in the last week. But his lips don't touch mine. He kisses the edge of my mouth instead. I really wanted to do this, he says softly as he slowly moves down my neck. Just the sound of his voice makes me shiver. When he sucks on my neck, I hold on to him and a moan comes out of my mouth. He groans when he hears it and sucks even harder. When he moves to a different spot, I moan again. When he bites my skin, my nails dig into his arms, and then he licks it to make it feel better. When he moves lower, my toes curl and I moan out loud. The shirt I'm wearing is too big for me, and the first button is very low, which makes my cleavage very clear. That just gives him more room to lick and bite. He pulls away after a while, looking happy. My lips are still open and I'm breathing hard. He is shocked when I pull him by the neck for another kiss. This kiss is hard and hurts, unlike our first kiss. At first, I try to take charge, but he bites my bottom lip. I like how he takes charge of the kiss. His tongue gets tangled up with mine, and I moan again. When I kiss him, I try to match his intensity. We pull back to catch our breath, and I swear I'm red because of how intensely he looks at me. He says in a deep voice, "I want to give you something." He still has his arms around me, and I still have mine around him. People would think we were lovers hugging each other. Yes, that's right. Yet. My voice sounds breathy. "I want to help you paint," he says. I pay attention. "Really?" I almost scream. With a knowing look and a small smile, he says, "Yeah, I can see the passion in you. I'm so happy." I kiss his cheek again and squeal. I see that his eyes are getting bigger and his cheeks are turning a little pink, which is almost not noticeable. I take my hand out of the wrapping with a big smile, and he does the same. "When do we start?" I ask, feeling great. "Tomorrow, after school." I smile at his answer because I can't help but be happy. "Do you have colors other than gray?" I turn to him. He nods and then goes to the cupboard to get all kinds of paint colors. A lot of different colors. As I walk to see them, my eyes sparkle and I stare at him in awe. "Why keep these when you only use gray?" "Because, Bunny, maybe one day I'll start painting with other colors too." He looks at me with a lot of intensity, as if it had something to do with me. That makes me turn away. "So, after school tomorrow?" "Yes." "So, what you're saying is that he kissed you and then didn't talk to you for a week," Sky says, and I nod my head. "In school, he just ignored me. And then, after a whole week, he gave you hickeys." There were a lot of them, girl, I saw them. Anyway, he gave you hickeys and then he ignored you again. Right. Sky goes on. What? You saw them? I turn red. Sky says with a smirk, of course you didn't cover them well, Lyra. The whole school saw them. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, and well, he's gone back to ignoring, I say to get back on track. Jude and Kira are arguing about something, and the crowded cafeteria makes it hard for us to talk. He's a jerk, Sky says after a while. I look at her sharply before grabbing some fries and eating them. Wait, what? He thinks he can do whatever he wants to you and doesn't care how you feel. You, Lyra, deserve better, she says. I never wanted him, Sky. I don't need a guy. I told her everything that had happened, but I didn't tell her about Zeke or that I was going to Austin's house every day after that to learn how to paint. I can't help but feel hurt by what Austin did. How's it going with Eric? Sky asks me right when I see Eric next to our table looking at me. He waves to me, and I wave back. Then his friend says something to him, and he looks away. That's great. He's a good friend, I say. Whoa, Austin is glaring at your good friend, Sky says, her eyes wide and her voice very excited. I turn around and see Austin throwing knives at Eric. Eric nervously looks at his table, knowing that Austin is staring at him. Yeah, they've always been like that, I say with a dry tone. Sky says, Austin is a weird guy, and I agree. She says, and I feel something strange settle on my chest when she says that. Am I? Are you jealous? No, it can't be. Yes, I am. Sky looks at me knowingly and shakes her head. A hand grabs my elbow as we get ready to leave for our next class. My heart races, but when I turn around, my face falls. I still smiled. Hey, Lyra, Eric says with a smile that makes him look like a boy. I say a little hi. I can feel hot eyes on me, and I know who is looking at me. So, I was wondering if I could take you on a date, he says nervously. Nice. Hold on. A what? A date. I squeak. He smiles at me nervously, and his eyes dart to something behind me and then back to me. You don't have to answer me right now, he says. Okay, I'll let you know by the afternoon. After saying goodbye to Eric, I walk to Sky. He goes back to his friend, and I hear his friend cheer. My cheeks get a little warm. I can feel Austin's angry eyes on me, but I don't look at him. And I'm sure he didn't hear what we said. And I shouldn't care. What did your good friend have to say? He sort of asked me out. Oh, so your good friend wants to be your boyfriend, Sky says as we walk to the next class. What did you say? Nothing, I say, biting my lip. Why? What? Sky screams. Oh, you like Austin, that's why, she says. No, that's not the reason at all. We walk into the science class, which is almost full, and sit down in the back. That's exactly why, babe, Sky says, rolling her eyes. But you have to tell him something. He didn't ask you to be his girlfriend, it's just a date. I say go for it. I think about it. Okay, I say to her. I wish it was the brown-eyed devil who would ask me out instead of Eric. I let out a sigh as I try to focus on the teacher's chatter, which had already started. The day goes by very quickly. Eric was happy when I told him I would go. He told me he would take me out to dinner at 7. So I had to go to Austin's house earlier than usual. I knock on his door, and after a while, he lets me in. He has on a black sleeveless shirt and gym trousers. I don't like it when he wears sleeveless clothes because his muscles are distracting. And I hate it when he sees me drooling at the sight. He says with a smirk, "You can stare all you want, Bunny, but let's get inside first." He laughs when I mumble, "I wasn't staring," before going inside. We enter the room. I see the canvas at the other end of the room right away. There are 2 eyes painted on the wall, and they aren't grey, which is surprising. Or any color but blue. I tell myself that he painted the eyes of another girl, not mine, to calm my heart. That thought makes my heart race, but I'm glad he at least used some other colors. Austin sees where I'm looking and runs to cover it. Then we walk to the other corner of the room, which I like to call my spot. Austin helps me with a new piece of art. I have to say that Austin is a great teacher. And a kisser. And I didn't say it. He gives me a brush and says, "Today we will play with strokes." He said that. Lyra. He gives me acrylic paints and says, "Use sharp edges only when you want to paint something serious. Use soft edges when you want to paint something happy." Can I paint a sunset? I ask, my voice full of excitement. He laughs a little and says, "Go ahead. I want you to use the cross-hatching painting technique," he says before walking behind me and sitting in one of the chairs that face me. I begin with the sun. But I stop when my phone rings in my pocket. Before I went back to painting, I put it in the speaker. I say, "Hello. Lyra, please tell me you didn't forget about the date. Are you having second thoughts?" Sky shouts. "No," I say, but I'm cut off. As Austin is, Eric is sweet, okay? Besides, Austin is a jerk. But Austin and your kids would be beautiful. My eyes widen, and I quickly pull out my phone and put it on Do Not Disturb. "I'm going on the date, Sky. I'll call you later," I say quickly before hanging up. I don't want to turn around and look at Austin, so I keep painting. After a while, Austin says, "A date," in a hard tone, as if he didn't understand. I swallow hard and turn to face him. I smile at him as best I can, hoping to get rid of the anger in his eyes. No, hold on. He can't be mad. Not after acting like nothing happened between us. I stop smiling and get back to painting. With who? I don't have to answer, so I don't. Oh, but I'd love to see the jealousy if that's possible. Eric, I say coldly after a few seconds. What if he is just like Zeke? I stop. A lot of ideas come to mind. No, I won't let him control me. Don't you dare mess with me, Austin, I say in a low voice. My voice is about to break. I keep painting angry red strokes around the sun. Lyra, not Bunny, I said. Are you jealous, Austin? I turned to him with one eyebrow raised and a forced smile on my lips. He looks surprised when I accuse him, but he doesn't say anything. I go back to painting. He says softly, "You shouldn't trust people easily, Bunny." Are we back to saying Bunny? I shouldn't trust you either, I say, and I wish I hadn't said it right away. I know it's not the same, he's saved me so many times. I have no reason to doubt him. I slowly turn around to look at him, and when I see his face change from hurt to something else, I almost gasp. But he quickly hides it. But he still has his jaw clenched and isn't looking at me. He gets up and walks away instead. I choose to walk after him to say I'm sorry, but when I get outside, I can't see him. I feel guilty, and I look for him everywhere, but I can't find him. I have to go home. If not, I'll be late for the date. I think that I attract jerks. Just mean people. Or maybe there aren't any good people left. I blink away the tears and look at my phone one last time. There are no messages. I just got stood up on my first date, which is great. I straighten my pastel pink dress, which I was dumb enough to buy and which cost more than 3 of my other dresses put together. I walk home, trying my best not to cry. Why do bad things happen to me? I had done a lot to look good. I bought some makeup and curled my hair loosely. I wish I hadn't done any of it. Eric didn't even text or call me to let me know why he didn't come. I texted Eric while I was on my way. I know things come up at the last minute, but Eric, it would have been nice to have a little more warning. I can get home without crying, but once I get to my door, I can't stop myself. I cry and get inside, locking the door behind me. Bunny. I can't even begin to describe how shocked I was. I stare at Austin with wide eyes. What are you doing here? I ask, my voice breaking. I came to, give you your bag. You left it at my house, he says, scratching his neck because he knows he's lying. I didn't forget my bag at his house. But I let that go. Who let you in? I think her name was Kira. I walk to my room with a sigh, wiping away a hot tear that has rolled down my face. But before I can go in, a very familiar muscular chest pulls me in. This makes more tears fall. Austin pats my back as I cry and sniffle every so often. Please don't cry, Bunny, he whispers sweet things in my ear. He pulls back for a moment to check my body for any injuries. When he's sure there aren't any, he pulls me back to him. I just wanted my first date to be perfect, I say. He gets stiff, but he doesn't stop to pat my back. Don't cry, baby. He's a jerk, he says softly. Austin, you are too. You are too. You're playing with my heart. The mixed signals are driving me crazy. I mumble, I hate him. He says me too in a low voice and then kisses my forehead. I sigh because of how it feels. My tears are slowly drying up. After a moment, I say, I'm sorry, Austin. If that's possible, his soft look gets even softer. For telling you I shouldn't trust you, I say before putting my face back into his chest. SHH, Bunny. I know you didn't mean it. His hand running up and down my back makes my heart race and I feel myself melt. How many times have we been in this situation? Isn't he tired of being the hero? Austin asks. I'm guessing he didn't show up. I shake my head. He looks down at me and says, how about I take you to dinner? We don't want all this to go to waste. All of this, like my hair, makeup, and dress? Right now, I look terrible. Austin rolls his eyes. You look beautiful, Lyra. My cheeks get hot. I ask him softly, is it going to be like a date, and look at him in disbelief. He laughs. Okay, bunny. Are you sure? What kind of response is that? I don't think about it. Okay, let me fix myself up a bit. Thank you, Austin, I say as I stand on my tiptoes and kiss him on the cheek before going to my room. I don't miss how his eyes get darker and his lips part when I kiss his cheek. I hate how my hair and makeup look when they are all messed up. I wash my face and dry it off with a towel, then I comb my hair and put it up in a side bun. I don't wear as much makeup as I used to, just a little lipstick and mascara. I stand in front of the mirror and check out how I look. Not too bad. And I'm glad I don't regret buying this pink dress anymore. It feels just right. I put on a pair of pink earrings that match. I take one last look at myself before I leave my room. I don't get why my heart is beating so fast now that I'm on my way to meet Eric. And for some reason, I'm not even mad at Eric anymore. And he will never get another chance, and I have a feeling there is another reason for it. A larger one. After I go outside, I close my bedroom door and see Austin sitting on the couch. When he sees me, he stands up and I can feel his eyes slowly moving down my body. This makes me feel hot and fuzzy. Butterflies. I also look at how he looks. He wore a light blue button-up shirt and black trousers, with the sleeves rolled up to show his forearms. His toned chest sticks out from under his shirt, and I can't help but bite my lips. The air feels thick and the tension in the room rises. Austin looks at me like he wants something. Like when you're really hungry but the food is too hot and you can't stop looking at it. When he turns around and picks something up off the couch and hands it to me, I'm surprised. A small bouquet of red and white flowers. My heart beats faster. When did he get it? I take it from him, say thank you, and put it in a vase. I say, we should go, and my voice sounds a little breathy. Austin looks at me for a few more seconds before reaching out his hand and I take it. Hey, Lyra! Where are you going? Kira yells from her room. Dinner. I'll be back in an hour or two, I yell back before going outside. Austin takes me to a restaurant that is a bit too fancy for me. I'm glad I wore this dress again. I would be so out of place otherwise. We talk about dumb things during dinner, not serious things. We lose track of time, and when we leave the restaurant, it's midnight. He drives me home, and even though the ride is quiet, it's very comfortable. I lean against the window and fall asleep because it's so comfortable. After a while, I feel like a hard but soft thing is lifting me up and holding me. When I snuggle up closer, it makes it laugh. I smile before I fall asleep again, burying my face in whatever it was. It pulls me in closer. I wake up in my bed, which is late because of Austin. But I have to admit that it was a lot of fun. I put on a peach t-shirt and jeans and tie my hair back in a ponytail. I take an apple and run to school. In a very real sense. It's a very busy day, and by lunchtime, I'm so tired. Sky is the same. As we walk to our table, she says, I hate school. I laugh at her and sit down. So, how was your date? Sky asks, and the tiredness in her eyes is gone. Wow. Well, it was great, but, what? Did you kiss? Sky screams. I tell her to be quiet. Eric didn't come, I say with a sigh. Sky looks unhappy. Then how was it great? Did you have an imaginary friend with you or something? I roll my eyes at her question. No, Austin took me out. What's wrong? Sky chokes on her spit, and I pat her back. A few tables turn to face us. Why did it seem so crazy? Sky asks, you don't think it's strange? No, I shake my head. What makes it so suspicious? So, Eric asks you out, but he doesn't show up. Instead, Austin shows up out of nowhere and takes you out. And don't forget that Eric and Austin are in a cold war. I'm either stupid or I trust people too easily. In any case, I'm dumb. And can't see. I can confirm that Austin had something to do with it. I ask, have you seen Eric, as I look around? I haven't seen him, Sky says. So did Austin ask you to be his girlfriend? Sky sounds hopeful. I shake my head and do my best not to show how sad I am. Oh, my poor Lyra. He might just be scared that you'll say no. Why don't you ask him? Does he want to be my boyfriend? Yes. No way, I say, and my voice gets a little high. Think about it. I know you like him, and I think he likes you too. Yes, that's right. I walk to the room where the painting is. My eyes go back to his painting, and my heart stops beating. The blue eyes are painted perfectly, and the whole face is painted too. The girl's lips are curled into a smile, and there are white flowers in her long blonde hair. And she is wearing a pink dress that looks very familiar. Austin covers it up like it's nothing, but I'm still frozen. It's me. Austin did my makeup. A painting of me in lots of colors. I'm breathing too fast. Don't worry. I can tell Austin doesn't want to talk about it by looking at him. So, I let it go for now, hoping he would bring it up when it's done. I gasp as I start to uncover my canvas. It looks bad. Yesterday, my anger got the best of me. When he shakes his head at my painting, I give him a sheepish smile. The sun doesn't even look like it. It's not even close to round. I take it off, and Austin helps me put on a new canvas. I look at him and wait for him to tell me what we are going to do today. Instead, he sighs and rubs his neck in an awkward way before looking me in the eye. I want you to, well, do something for me, bunny. Yet. I frown. Austin says in a voice that makes my heart race, I have a family dinner tomorrow. Will you come with me? There is so much emotion in his brown eyes when he looks at me. Please, he whispers. Of course. I will, I say with a smile. He looks relieved and sighs when I don't ask him anything. Why me? What's going on? We kissed, went out on a date, and now I was going to meet his family. And he still hadn't asked me to be his girlfriend. Doesn't he want me? Why do I feel so bad? I hold up the two dresses and ask, black or lavender? Kira says, lavender, and then rolls her eyes. You'll look like yourself in lavender, sweet, shy, and all. I don't think I can do it, I say with a sigh. Don't worry about it, babe, Kira says, popping her gum and giving me a warm look. I wish I could be as sure of myself as you are, I say to her as I sit next to her in bed. She was strong, sure of herself, and able to do things on her own. Would I ever be one of those? She left because her parents were abusive, and now she has to live alone. I was happy that she was starting to talk to me. They say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But I don't think I'd tell anyone what happened. And I wish I was as sweet as you. You know you should love yourself for who you are, she says, rolling her eyes. Kira, you can be nice, though. And Lyra, you can be sure, she says in a very high-pitched voice. This time, I roll my eyes. Now go change. I'll do your hair and makeup, she says before falling back on my bed. I shake my head at her and go to the toilet. The lavender dress is casual and comes down to my knees. The dress has a sweetheart neckline and long sleeves, and it fits my body like a second skin. It doesn't look too revealing, but it does make me feel. As soon as I leave the bathroom, someone pulls me in front of the dressing table. Kira starts to braid my hair as I sit down. It's so complicated, and I don't know what she's doing. After she's done, I can't believe how good my hair looks. Who would have thought that a bird's nest could be turned into a work of art? Kira starts with my face, and after a long time, she's done. I gasp when I open my eyes. I thought she had done something bad, but it looks so normal. I scream with joy and hug her, but she pulls away. You'll ruin everything, she says firmly. I roll my eyes and put on matching heels that I borrowed from Kira. Thank you, I say one last time, and she pushes me to the door, laughing quietly. We say goodbye. I see Austin waiting behind the door. How long has he been here? I say hi shyly when he looks at me with something like love in his eyes. Pfft, like that. He says hi in that deep voice of his and then gives me flowers, this time white roses. He is wearing a black tuxedo over his muscular chest. My mouth is watering at what I see. Why don't you two get over each other? An amused voice says. Hayden, Austin growls before he turns around. A man who is older than Austin comes. He wears leather on his body. Leather pants, leather jacket, and leather boots. Oh boy! It looks like he owns a leather factory. His face looks like Austin's. But his eyes are hazel, not brown like Austin's. I can tell that they are naughty. His hair is also shorter, but it is still midnight black. His face is perfect and his jaw is sharp. But I don't think I like his face as much as Austin's. And I didn't say it. No, I didn't. You must be Lyra, he says, stopping in front of me and taking my hand in his. This makes me blush. Then he bows down and kisses my knuckles. Hayden says, nice to meet you, beautiful. Same, I say in a hoarse voice. Austin takes my hand from Hayden's before I even know it. We have to go, Austin grumbles before pulling me along to the lift. Someone is in a bad mood. Or maybe they're just envious. The idea that makes my heart race. Hayden follows us, and I hear him laugh deeply. Austin says, he's my half-brother. Of course, they looked a lot alike. Austin whispers in my ear, by the way, you look beautiful. I blush and smile shyly at him. I'm glad Kira didn't put blush on me, I'd look like a tomato. It's too quiet in the car. The air is hot and charged, and every now and then I hear Hayden mumbling about the tension in the car. We get there in an hour. Austin parks the car and gets out to let me in. Sir. He takes my hand and we walk inside, with Hayden following us again. The restaurant is very fancy. My plain lavender dress makes me feel a little out of place. Austin's hand is on the small of my back. We go into a private room. There are two couples sitting there, and they smile when they see us. You don't have to be a genius to see that the smiles are fake. We give each other hugs. Austin's parents are divorced, it turns out. Austin gets his looks from his dad. He still looks good, even with gray hair. Austin tells me that his hands are around his fourth wife. Hayden is the son of his second wife. And they are all very rich, which is why they have a mansion. I just realized something, Austin must have a lot of step-brothers and sisters. On the other hand, his mother doesn't seem to care that we're there because she keeps talking to her fiancé and whispering to him, and sometimes they kiss. They seem like they want to be anywhere but here. What kind of meal is this? I know I shouldn't judge. But I have to say that this family is very dysfunctional. Observation. At least he has one. When something warm touches my bare thigh halfway through dinner, I almost spit out the water. Austin's palm is comfortably resting there, and his fingers are slowly making up patterns in the air. I can't believe what I'm seeing on his face. He looks like he's really thinking. His fingers keep tracing patterns on my thigh without him knowing it. I breathe deeply. I look around and see that everyone is lost in their own world. Austin's mother is kissing his fiancé while his father whispers something in his wife's ear. Hayden is giving the waitress a dark look, and I know that look very well. Someone is going to have X tonight. What kind of meal is this? I put my hand over Austin's to stop him from moving. I look at his face again and see him looking down at our hands on my thigh. He seems to realize what's going on, and just when I think he's going to take his hand away, he does it again, this time very purposefully. When his brown eyes meet mine, a smirk comes over his lips. I almost gasp when his warm hand moves up a little higher. I hold back a moan and squeeze my thighs together. His smirk gets twice as big. It's going to be a long night. I grit out, "What are you doing?" as his hands keep up the sweet. He laughs at how flustered I am, and when I let out a breathy moan, his eyes get darker. "Bunny," he groans when I bite my lips to keep from moaning again and look at him. When his knuckles touch my pants, I almost jump out of my seat. I stand up and walk to the ladies' room, breathing heavily. Austin, who is very amused, stays behind and laughs silently. I look at myself in the mirror and see how flustered I am. My eyes are wide open, and I'm breathing heavily like I just ran a marathon. I put on my lipstick and then fixed my hair. My heart is racing in my chest. But when I see another girl sitting in my spot, I freeze. When Austin whispers something in her ear and she giggles, my heart stops. She leans in towards Austin, touches his forearms, and then says something back. The girl is not at all like me. She could easily be the most beautiful girl in the world with her model-like body and angelic face. That's a little too much, but you get it. And I know that Austin deserves someone like her and not a loser like me. But it hurts. It hurts a lot. Daisy, a voice behind me makes me jump. I turn around and look at Hayden. Hayden says, "She's Daisy, Austin's best friend from when they were kids." He must have known I was sad because he put his hand on my arm and looked at me with concern. He asks, "Do you want to leave?" I think about it for a second before I nod. Hayden takes my hand, which surprises me. I realize that I don't feel the same way I do with Austin. We walk down to the bar and sit on the bar stool. Hayden asks me, "What do you want?" I say, "Just lemonade," and his eyes widen in surprise, but he still tells the barman to get it. He asks for a berry red drink for himself. I ask, "How old are you?" 20, you? 17, I say and take a sip of the lemonade. It tastes good and makes me feel better. "Ah, you're a kid." "Kid, I can tell you really like Austin," he says, and I try not to choke on the lemonade. "I am not a child, and he doesn't like me back," I say after a few seconds, sighing. "Lyra, he's been through a lot. He's just scared," Hayden says before taking a sip of his drink. "It looks really good. But he can't do this to me. He can't leave me hanging like this," I say angrily. Hayden nods and says, "I agree." "Whoa," he says when I take the drink from his hand and drink it all. I regret it right away. My throat hurts when I feel it. Hayden sighs and says, "Lyra, you have to understand." "What do you mean?" "Tell me," I say with a glare. He says with a sad smile, "It's not my place to say, Lyra." Hayden is cool. "Please, please, please, tell me something." Hayden seems to be torn. "Please," I say slowly. The drink makes me feel strange. He finally gives in. He lost his twin sister, which was very hard on him. He hasn't been the same since. Until today, when I saw him with you, he finally looked happy. I haven't seen him smile in years. I asked the barman for another drink of the same alcohol, whatever it was, even though I knew I didn't have any money on me. I knew Hayden would pay for it. Was I being a jerk? I see that he is looking at me with concern. What happened to his twin sister? Lyra. Hayden, I say with a pout. He sighs before he tells me. A few robbers broke in. They were alone. Austin somehow found out about them and hid, but he didn't get to tell Miranda. When she said she'd call the police, they shot her dead. I take a drink of alcohol after swallowing the lump in my throat. Austin blames himself for Miranda's death. Things got worse when Mom and Dad got divorced and even worse when Dad remarried. Mom left us in anger, and Dad did too after a few days. I went to college and had to leave Austin alone, which made him even more depressed and stuff, Hayden says. My heart hurts for Austin. Austin doesn't like me that much, Hayden. He looked comfortable with Daisy. I think he likes Daisy more, I say with a sad smile. I ask for another glass. He's just trying to make you mad, I laugh as I lean on Hayden. I feel like I need some rest. He keeps me going. A voice I know says, that's too much, but I don't turn around. I don't want to see his face. The barman gives me another glass anyway, and I drink it down again, but someone takes the glass from my hand. I get up and look the devil in the eye. Give it to me, I say in a cold voice as I get up from my chair. His eyes get big for a second, but then he calms down and glares at me. I try to grab it from him, but the alcohol I drank makes me dizzy and I trip, spilling the drink all over Austin. When I see his clenched jaws, my heart skips a beat. I'm sorry, I say softly to him. The berry red drink has soaked his tuxedo, and I can't help but feel worse. I am so sorry, I say again, and my voice breaks. Hey, it's okay. Bunny, please don't cry, Austin says as he rushes in front of me and wipes away some tears. I didn't realize I was crying. And I didn't even know why I was sad. I bit my lips to keep from crying. Is it booze? Austin sighs, let's get you home. I laugh for no reason at all. I remember that I was crying. I laugh again. You are drunk, he says. I glare at him and say, no shit, Sherlock. When he takes off the tuxedo, I can't believe how amazing he looks. Now he is only wearing a white shirt. He looks good. I laugh at the thought. He asks me, what's so funny? I think you look yummy, I say again, laughing. He shakes his head and smiles a little. He holds me by the waist and we walk to the car. Where is Hayden? I slur my words a little. I can feel him getting stiff next to me. He left, Austin says with a blank look and puts me in the car. I fall asleep on the way, happy to be in the dark. Before I fall asleep, I say, Austin, and my eyes are about to close. He looks so pretty when I look at him. I wonder if I'm jealous because I'm falling for Austin. Yes, Bunny. I like Hayden. Austin. Yes. I keep bringing things up about him. He's always there for me. He makes me feel things I've never felt before. He hugs and kisses me like no one else. He makes me feel like I'm loved. And most importantly, he looks tasty. Hey, Austin. Yes, honey. I like you. I like you too, Bunny. Austin. He laughs before saying yes again. I think I love you. I close my eyes and let the dark take me. I shut my eyes as soon as I open them. Is it just me, or does the world seem too bright sometimes? I open them again after a short time. I know I shouldn't have drunk that much because my head hurts a little. But it really did help. At least I wasn't sad then. But I am now. It might have made me feel better for a night, but it doesn't change the fact. He means a lot to me, but maybe I don't mean as much to him. The fact that I am hopelessly falling for him and he might not be. Or maybe I've already fallen for him. Well, at least he doesn't know it. I take a shower and get ready. I put on one of my favorite dresses, a floral one that came to my knees, and tied my hair back. I even put on some light makeup. And I didn't do it to make anyone happy. Today is a sunny day, and for once, I like it. It makes me happy, and maybe that's because I'm about to do something crazy. I'm going to ask Austin if he wants to go out with me. He had me convinced that I was strong. He had helped me figure out who I was. He was there when no one else was. He deserves someone who will love him no matter what, after everything he went through. And I would do everything I could to give him what he needs. Sky said I could do it, and Hayden said Austin was just scared because it was new to him. Hayden even told me he liked me too. That's two people, and they're very different. And one person can be wrong, but two can't. Correct? I couldn't help but wonder what he would say. And every time I thought about it, I couldn't help but blush. So, for the first 3 classes, I thought about it while I was dreaming, sometimes paying attention to the lecture, and then again. At lunch, Sky, Kira, and I sat next to Jude. They kept talking about Zeke's disappearance. I heard his dad died, so he had to go back to Spain, Sky says, her eyes wide. I almost choke on my own spit. What? Still, he went away. He should have said something before he left. I bit my lip to keep from saying anything. It might have been better if they didn't know. Jude looked sadder than the rest. If they only knew the truth. Jude tried to make things better by saying that he was the only guy in the group and that soon he would be a girl or at least gay. While I eat lunch, I zone out of what they're saying. I think about Austin again. I nervously turn around to look at his table, but he's not there. Hey, Lyra. I get up and put my hand on my heart, which is racing. I turn around to look at Austin. My friends are looking at us with interest. Yet. Can I borrow you for a second? I need to talk to you about something. Of course. I go outside with Austin and we walk to the school garden. But there are too many people there, so we decide to go to the empty old building that has a lot of history for me. Or should I say, connected to us? I can't stop thinking about what he has to say, and my heart feels like it's going to explode. I'm so excited that I feel dizzy. But something seems off about him today. His hair is a mess and there are bags under his eyes. He looks like he's in trouble, and that makes me feel bad. Isn't this the wrong time to ask him to be my boyfriend? Austin asks, do you remember last night, after 10 years? We stand in front of the old building, and thankfully, no one is there. Not much, I say. Well, I remember the dinner, and now I'm blushing. I also remember Daisy. I can still remember getting drunk. And the part where Hayden told me why Austin acted the way he did. I can't remember anything after that. He asks, you don't remember what you said, with hope in his eyes. What do you mean, Austin? He sighs, and I can tell he's disappointed but also relieved. Is that even possible? It's okay, then. We should go back, Austin says with a blank face. I can see how much he had started to show his feelings. Why isn't he showing them again? Wait, I say in a high voice. He stops and stares at me. I nervously look down at my feet. My palms are sweaty and my throat is dry because I'm nervous. Still, I talk. Will you be my boyfriend? The cold, uncomfortable silence around us makes my heart hurt as I wait for him to answer. I look at him and my heart breaks. He looks at me like I said something gross. Why? He asks. Nothing, I say, trying my best not to let my voice break. Listen, Lyra, he says with a sigh as he runs his hand over his face. He moves a little closer, but there is still at least 2 feet between us. When I look at him, a new glimmer of hope shines in me. I don't go out with people. My heart, which was already broken, breaks even more. But don't you like me? I stutter, looking into his eyes in the hope of finding out what was going on. Was this not a joke? Like. Austin laughs coldly. It's just a crush, Lyra. We'll get over it. My heart breaks and everything hurts. A hot tear runs down my face. I can see his eyes following it, but he doesn't wipe it off. And the look on his face doesn't give anything away. So, that's it. My voice breaks, and more tears fall down my cheeks. Yet, he says with a blank look before turning to me one last time and leaving. When he is far away, he yells, "You'll be late for your next class, bunny." With that, my tears fall quickly, and I can feel the pain in my chest. I have trouble breathing and bite my bottom lip to hide a sob. If it was just a passing interest, why does it hurt so much? Is this what they mean by heartbreak? I remember how happy I was when he said he had something to say. I remember how happy I was when I thought about asking him to be my boyfriend. I remember putting on this dress and makeup for him. That's when something from last night comes to mind. "I think I love you, Austin," I had said. The dull ache in my heart gets worse until I can feel a little pain in my heart. Pain in the body. I cry and feel embarrassed. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Why me, God? Why? Why? I felt like I had lost a big thing that day. But I had lost something I never had. It didn't even make sense. But it might have made sense. He was the only good thing that had ever happened to me, after all. Did I ask for too much? I wipe my eyes. I look at the girl I love. She smiles at me, and her pink lips stretch out into a warm smile that makes my heart melt. Her baby blue eyes are sparkling with happiness, and I remember that I've always loved the color of her eyes. "Hey, dude, stop looking at the painting," Hayden says. I don't pay attention to him. He doesn't know what it's like. She will never give me that smile again. So, I guess I'll just look at the painting, which is the only one I've ever painted that has color. Hayden calls out again, "You've been looking at the painting for an hour." I let out a sigh. It's nothing, I had been looking at it all night. He has no idea. I take a shaky breath and leave the room, avoiding Hayden. I walk to the mirror when I get to my room. I don't deserve Lyra. She doesn't deserve a messed up guy who can't show her love. I can only hurt her. I see her face with tears in my mind, and I feel rage building inside me. She was crying because of me. She got hurt because of me. "I think I love you, Austin. Will you be my boyfriend? I think you look delicious." I grab a vase and throw it against the wall. The glass falls on me, but it's not enough. Next, I hit the mirror in front of me. I enjoy the pain and look at the mirror that is broken. It's still not enough. Hayden shouts, "Dude, stop." I hit him in the jaw. He hits me back, and my nose breaks. The pain still isn't enough. This isn't the same as what Lyra felt. "Use your brain, idiot," Hayden yells. I breathe hard. My fist and nose hurt, but my heart keeps beating. "I don't deserve Lyra." Hayden mumbles, "Damn right, you don't, and she doesn't deserve a crazy idiot." Hayden sighs and looks at me. "So, be the man she needs." He glares at me and then leaves the room. Be the man she needs? She should be with someone who loves her no matter what. Someone who doesn't hurt her. Someone she can always count on. Someone who can provide what she needs. She's too innocent for me, too innocent. Is it possible for me to do it? But I wouldn't be doing it for her, would I? I would do it for me. I was hooked on her. She was the best kind of drug. I smile when I think of her soft lips on my cheeks. Her hugs were the warmest and most comforting. Her hair smelled better than anything else. She was my Lyra. My planet, my solar system, my moon, my star, and my whole universe. The color of my life. And I was going crazy without her. I don't care if I sound crazy, but I loved her. I love her so much. I remember how much pain was in her eyes when I said it was just an attraction. I was lying to myself when I said I didn't love her. But I had to hurt her because it would be easier that way. I thought it would be easy if she hated me, but I was wrong. I couldn't get her sad eyes out of my head. Be the kind of person she deserves. That might be possible for me. I can give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I walk down the stairs, but before I can get outside, a hand on my shoulder stops me. Do you want to scare her away? Have you seen yourself? Hayden was right again. I looked terrible. I didn't have a second to waste. I hurry to my room, take a quick shower and put on the best shirt and trousers I have. I also put on my best cologne. I go 30 miles over the speed limit and don't get a ticket, thank goodness. I couldn't afford to be late. I run to the lift and wait impatiently. The lift takes forever to get me to her floor. I knock on her door impatiently. It won't open. I knock again, and my heart beats 1,000 times a second. I take a deep breath when the door opens. But my bunny doesn't open the door. Disappointment sets in. Kira asks, "What do you want, shithead?" "Where is Lyra?" "Leave." "She's not here," she says, putting her hand on her waist. "Tell me where she is," I say. "Why?" "To hurt her again." "Okay, I love her," I yell in anger. She looks at me with suspicion and her eyes widen in surprise. She lets out a sigh a moment later. "She left. She doesn't live here anymore." "What do you mean she doesn't live here anymore?" "We just talked about it yesterday." "I broke her heart just yesterday, more like." I can't help but get angry when Kira flinches at my voice. "Where did she go? Where did my bunny go?" Kira says, "Her uncle's house." She said something about a break. My bunny had been through too much with everything that had happened with Zeke. This place had only caused her problems. I felt bad for her, but I was going to make it up to her. What time does her flight leave? Kira says, she's already on board. I don't waste any time and call Hayden. My feet take me to the lift. Yeah, he says after a moment. Hayden, I need to borrow your private jet. I can hear Hayden mumbling in the background about how whipped I was and how he would kill me if anything happened to his jet. Like I'm the one who's driving it. But my mind was on something else. I had to get some pretty flowers and chocolate. Girls thought it was romantic, right? I also had to buy a helmet. In case my bunny had sharp claws, if you know what I mean. And I didn't have a lot of time. I'm coming, bunny. I hope you still love me. I really can't handle it any other way. For the 13th time that hour, I rub my sweaty hands on my jeans-covered thighs. I ask softly, are you sure? Yes. I mean, do you really want to? Yes, bunny. But I am cut off by a groan from my throat. I nervously turn my head to the side and look at Austin. For a moment, his eyes leave the road and stay on my face before going back to the road. I really don't care what people think, okay? If anything, I want every human to see us together, he says softly. I let out a sigh and look outside, wondering what people would think. I find myself looking at him again. His brown hair is messy on the side, which makes him look great. His eyes stay on the road, and I can't help but think about how good he looks with that serious look on his face. Hey, Austin. Yes, baby. Do you remember my first day of school? I try to forget about it. Of course, bunny. You looked so cute and lost, like a bunny, he says with a smile. I laugh softly, and that's how the nickname came about. How did you know where I was? You saved me from those guys, but how did you find me? I had a bad feeling when I saw you going the wrong way, Austin says. When his ears turn a light pink, I laugh. And, I drawl out, knowing there was more to say. I might have followed you, he says in a low voice. I laugh loudly and lean over to kiss him on the ears, which are very pink. Who would have thought this guy could be so cute? When Austin pulls the car into the school, my nerves come back. He tells me to stay there after he parks. He gets out and unlocks my door. When we walk into school hand in hand, I can feel the heat rise in my neck. Austin, I mumble, everyone is looking. Austin looks down at me and smiles like a boy. Then he leans down and kisses my lips. I gasp loudly, and he laughs softly. He whispers in my ear, I hope everyone saw that too, my bunny. Then we start walking to the locker. People are staring at us now, and my face feels like it's on fire. I see my friends Sky, Sam, and Jude looking at me with big smiles on their faces. He waits patiently while I get my books ready for the first class. Literature in English. I smile at the memories of the class that brought Austin and me together. I do, however, see some movement out of the corner of my eye. I turn my head to the side and see Eric looking at me. It looks more like he's glaring at Austin and me. He runs away when I look at him. In a literal sense. I turn around and look at Austin. What was that? Austin shrugs and says nothing, which reminds me that Eric never showed up for the date and Austin had something to do with it. What did you do, Austin? I turn all the way around and put one hand on my waist. What? He asks again, sounding innocent. Too innocent. I glare at him, turn around, and slam the locker door loudly. I hear Austin call me Bunny, but I ignore him and go the same way Eric did. I needed to know what had happened. Austin calls out again, Lyra. I let him go. After looking around, I see Eric sitting on one of the benches outside. I sit next to him, and his eyes get big. He stands up to leave. Epilogue. Eric, wait, I say with a groan. Please, I say. He takes a deep breath before sitting down. I ask softly, what's wrong? He doesn't say anything. I push, what did Austin do? He laughs coldly, and I take a deep breath. That was not like him at all. What would he do? He hit me because I asked you out, he says through gritted teeth before getting up and leaving. I chase after him. Eric, why are you mad at me? I didn't tell him to do it. I say in frustration. He spins around. He sighs, I really like you, Lyra. I press my lips together and look down. I'm sorry. It's okay, Eric says with a sigh. I say, we can still be friends. And Austin will say he's sorry. Of course, unless Austin decides to beat me up again. He laughs and hugs me. I feel like someone is watching me, and I see Austin glaring at us before he walks away. Oh no. I say to Eric, I'll see you later. Sure, he says. I sigh and run after my angry boyfriend, who thinks he can beat someone up and then be mad. Austin, I say. He doesn't say anything and walks to the garden, where he sits down and lies down. He shuts his eyes. I say Austin again before I sit down. He doesn't pay attention to me and grits his teeth. Why did you do that to Eric? I almost scream. He clenches his jaw painfully when I ask him. He sits down and opens his eyes. His brown eyes are so dark that they look more black than brown. He doesn't answer, but I'm going to stick to my guns. He finally gives in. Because he is everything I am not. I was scared, okay, he says through gritted teeth. Afraid that you'd like him. Afraid that you and him would be together, he clenches his jaw before continuing, he is sweet, like you said. I am not. And, seeing you hug him like that. I know I was wrong but, Austin sighs and shakes his head. Before he hides it with anger, I can see that he is sad. He gets up to leave, but I stay where I am. He begins to walk away. I love you, okay? I yell at him. I love you, Austin. Not him, not anyone but you. You were the one who wouldn't ask me out, I say with a sigh. His eyes get big as he turns around. The sun hits him, and for a moment, I just stare at him. How did I ever meet someone like him? No one else had stayed that long. Say that again, he says. I get up and go to him. There isn't anyone around us, so maybe the class has already started. When we're close enough, I whisper, I love you, and our chests touch. Again, he whispers, and I look into his eyes. My heart is racing because I'm afraid he won't say it back. I love you, Austin. Austin pulls me by the waist, pushes me against him, and kisses me. We finally break up after a long time. I love you too, he says, putting his forehead on mine and breathing heavily. I feel warmth spreading through me. Let's go and say sorry to Eric now, I say with a smile. Austin lets out a loud groan. Way to ruin the mood. You had to take his name, he says as he pulls away. I laugh and say, we need to get rid of that insecurity, Austin. He kisses my forehead and smiles at me. I smile and say, you still have to say sorry. Only if you keep telling me you love me, Bunny. I can't let it sink, he says as he pulls me close. I laugh a lot. Of course. Daisy wraps her arms around Lyra and says, there's my favorite bridesmaid. Lyra smiles back at her with a big smile. Lyra says, Daisy, you look beautiful. The girl looked great in the veil and white dress. It made Lyra think of her wedding. She remembers it with shining eyes. Thanks. But you looked better, Daisy winks. Lyra says in a teasing tone, I still haven't forgiven you for that night. Oh, come on. Did you really think I'd like someone like Austin? No offense to you, honey. It was his idea to make you jealous anyway, Daisy says. Lyra laughs at her and thinks back to the good old days. A deep voice says, it worked, though, didn't it? And both girls jump. Austin puts his arm around Lyra and says, you look beautiful, baby. Lyra blushes and looks at her husband. You've told it like 100 times today, Austin. Daisy laughs and says, oh come on, it's been 17 years already and you two act like newlyweds. I wish my husband was as romantic as Austin. That time he showed up at the airport, Lyra, you must have been so happy, Daisy says dreamily. Yes, Lyra says. That was definitely one of the best days of her life. Oh, but I got slapped 3 times, Austin says in a small voice, playfully, making both women laugh. You deserved it, Lyra says with a wink and a smile that makes her husband feel good. Austin smiles and kisses her on the head. He knows he deserved it. Hey, Daisy, a voice calls. Daisy says she's sorry and leaves. Lyra can feel her husband's loving gaze. She looks at him with a look of confusion. What? I love you. Lyra laughs and then wraps her hand around Austin's neck and pulls him in for a long kiss. I love you too. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.